Okay, so welcome back, and I'm gonna be doing a review on PetSmart's setting up the small pet habitat. This will be quite interesting. So the thing that annoys me is that they say that that there's 3 simple steps when even if an animal is small or medium or large, they're not easy to take care of. And that's the thing that bothers me a lot, is that many people view small animals as a simple pet, also known as a throwaway pet, and that's kind of what annoys me a lot, that many people think that they are throwaway pets and that they don't deserve the best care. And I know that I'm not the first one to do this type of review. I know that there's other people that have done the review. I believe Munchies for Homeless Pets has done it. Victoria Rachel, I'm pretty sure, has done it too. Those are the only 2 that I know that have done it, I think. But I know that there's multiple other people, so I'm going to be putting my own review on this, even though that I'm pretty sure that if you guys have seen their review, then you guys might know that mine might be a bit of like a repetition of what they have said. But yeah, let's see how this ends up. All I know is I'm going to end up good, and I'm going to be pretty mad. Okay, so it says right here that small pets come in different shapes and sizes, and so do their habitats. Okay, so a good start, I guess. The small pet you choose, their exercise habitat, how much room they require, and their general day-to-day activities will determine the type of habitat you need. Okay, single level habitat. Okay. Some species, such as guinea pigs and rabbits, need more floor space to be active in as well as a platform and a ramp. I do agree that guinea pigs and rabbits do. The good thing about this is that they are saying that like guinea pigs and rabbits need more floor space, which is good. But the cages that they sell are way too small for those 2 type of animals. So kind of very contradicting over there. Multi-level habitats. Chinchillas, hamsters, and rats need a multi-level home that allows them to climb and explore different spaces. In general, when it comes to an ideal habitat for your small pet, bigger is better. At least they're saying that bigger is better. The good thing is that they're saying that. However, I doubt that their measurements is not going to be the right amount for an animal for these type of species. And another thing I would like to note is chinchillas and rats do need multi-level places to be at because they do love to climb. However, hamsters do not need multi-level like habitats. They really don't. They're bad climbers. Yes, you can see some of them acting like spiders. Every now and then you're gonna see a little spider hamster. But of course, with spider hamsters, you also have to be very careful with them because they could fall and hurt themselves. But typically when you see a hamster climbing on their bars, it is because of either boredom or stress. So if you ever see your hamsters doing that, most likely they are bored inside their cage, or 2, they are stressed out by the size of the cage, or they could even be stressed out by things that are inside of their cage. It all just depends on how your hamster reacts with certain things. So going on with this, attachments like tunnels give your small pet places to store their food and to climb, plus they prevent boredom. The thing is, for hamsters, climbing means boredom. I know that chinchillas, even though that I don't know too much about them, I know that chinchillas and rats do like climbing because that's what they would do inside the wild. They would climb, they would like explore, they would try to find stuff and everything like that. Hamsters, on the other hand, they're not supposed to climb. They can, but they're not supposed to. They're not meant for climbing. They have very short tails. Their short tails literally don't do nothing but just give them balance to walk around. Like how most animals have small little tails. Their small tails don't have much of a use besides just having a bit of balance while they walk and move around. To find out more about the specific habitat that your small pet needs, please check our small pet species care guide for more detailed information. The funny thing is that I already have these two. I have the Syrian hamster and dwarf hamster, and I got the gerbil one because the gerbil one is going to be an extra. In case I don't have much time to go ahead and put this, I at least have something extra to talk about. So, plastic and wired habitats. Plastic habitats give you the opportunity to view your small pet as it burrows and plays. Okay, yes, plastic habitats such as bin cages, and I know they're not talking about bin cages. They're talking about their stupid little critter shells. It is nice to view your pet and everything like that. However, don't put all as their things as plastic, because the worst thing is that they will start chewing on the plastic, and then there's always a chance of them swallowing it and having obstructions. And since they're very small and it is not good for them to be put into surgery to get those removed, I just won't risk it with plastic stuff unless you know that your hamster does not chew on plastic, or if you provide other stuff besides plastic. Because having plastic enclosure could be a good and a bad thing. There's some pros and some cons with it, which I might do into the future, of pros and cons of wooden cages, metal cages, and plastic cages, because I would like to do a bit of review on that. Show the pros and cons of each, just so that you guys can choose the best habitat for your pet. But of course, it has to be above or at least the minimum size, which is 450. And I'm only going to be saying 450 for dwarfs is the minimum for them. Square inches of floor space. So, yeah, going on with this, I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of it. Wire homes are another option looking for habitats which wire openings 1/12 inch or smaller to prevent your pet from slipping through. Okay, now there are some things with critter cages that you could use. However, the cost for it, it's really not worth it. Yes, it would look nice for you to go ahead and add some of it onto a bin cage, but it's not really worth it because then you're paying twice the amount. So you're better off just buying a bin cage and just using wire mesh and making your bin cage, as there are some out there inside YouTube that I have seen, and I would like to one day maybe even make my own little bin cage setup thing, and a bunch of other things, because I would like to make like hamster toys or like little animal toys, treats, and more things like that. So, which I do also have my Etsy shop, which I will be putting inside the description, just so that you guys, if you guys have any like dogs, cats, ferrets, or any other animal, I'll be slowly but surely making treats for those type of animals. So yeah, building your habitat. Make sure you have what you need before you get started. Not all habitats come with the tools for accessibility. Smaller habitats may take 30 to 45 minutes to assemble. Okay, if a small cage is taking 30 to 45 minutes for you to assemble, that is a big problem. Because if they're talking about like disassembling it, cleaning it out, and then reassembling it for it to take 30 minutes to 45 minutes, that's a pretty long time. Literally, I have a bin cage that I just use as like a small little area that I could go ahead and just put her in while I go and clean up her bigger cage. And like if I were to go and clean up that bin cage, it would probably take me maybe like 10 to 15 minutes just to go ahead and like, actually maybe even less, just for literally all I have to do to go ahead and disassemble it is just take out the lid. That's all I have to go ahead and do, and then I just take out all the bedding, clean out all the toys, and then put in half of some of the old bedding and then half of the new bedding, or put all of the new bedding, just so that she has plenty of space to go ahead and burrow. So yeah, that's kind of concerning, and that's just for assembly. So yeah, that's not good. Larger, more compacted habitats may take over an hour to put together. Okay. I still don't get it with the disassembling and plus the assembling part. Literally, for my bigger cage, all I do to disassemble it is just opening the lid. So I don't know what the heck they're trying to ask about that. Like, setting it up and everything like that, yes, may take like somewhere around like an hour or something like that to go and add in, to go ahead and clean out the old bedding, and then cleaning the very bottom, put in some old bedding, putting in some new bedding, putting all the like the sprays, putting all the like accessories and everything like that. But yes, that will take a long time. However, just to assemble it, for it to take, for bigger cages, almost an hour, unless you're like completely rebuilding your cage, even though that like for a big cage you don't need to disassemble it and then reassemble it when you could just clean it all in one go. So that does not make any sense. Safety tips. Consider setting up the habitat before you bring your pet home so that they can transfer your pet directly to it. Or consider inviting in a only be left in the cardboard transport carrier provided in stores for a short period of time because they can chew through it and escape. An exercise pen or ball can also be used to hold your pet before being put into a permanent habitat. Okay, so with this, So, safety tips. The good thing is that they're telling you that, like, the thing is, I don't get it with them and saying that you should go ahead and bring your pets home. How the heck am I supposed to be carrying my hamster's giant cage that is 1,050 square inches of floor space? That's unreasonable. But I'm pretty sure they're not trying to say that, but they're trying to talk about critter cages. And I'm just like, no. Just, no. Why? Why are they promoting this? Why? Anyway, so I do agree that they are saying that you should prepare your hamster's cage or your small pet's cage before, or unless you're trying to like free roam your rabbit, your multiple rabbits, but getting their habitat or their enclosure set up is the first thing that you should do before getting a pet, which is what I would always suggest. Therefore, you already have everything that is needed, so you don't have to stress out your hamster. And if you do have a small little cage, so you could, like a little travel cage that you could go ahead and use, ask if they could go ahead and give a little bit of the old hamsters, of the hamster that you're getting some of their bedding, just so you could add it to their cage that you're going to be keeping them in, just so that they don't get too stressed. So yeah, the other good thing is that, like, they're saying that, like, with a small little cardboard carrier that they make is only supposed to be used for a short period of time because they could chew on it, which is true. The good thing is that where I got my hamster, which was sadly from a pet store, but since I got her, she was inside the cardboard box, but she did not escape, but that's because I'm only like 10 to 15 minutes away from this PetSmart. So that's the only thing. I'm not that far from that PetSmart, so she never got to escape, which thank God. Or not, I would be panicking because I'll be like, girl, what are you doing? Please go back in there. I don't want to lose you. So now we're going to be doing Vet Assert, the standard for pet care. So the veterinary Assert program includes specific standard for vendors agree to meet to caring for and observing pets for common illness. Specific standards for in-store pet care. The PetSmart promise if your pet becomes ill during the internal 14 period, if you're not satisfied for any reason, PetSmart will gladly replace the pet or refund the purchase price. Okay, well, if you have a pet and your pet gets ill, take it to the vet. There's no, first of all, if they gave you a sick pet, there is no reason why you should bring that pet back if it's ill. And if you truly do love that animal, just take it to the vet. They will help you with everything that's going on to help that animal, because most likely if you bring that pet that is ill to the pet store, they will not give it vet care. They will just let it stay there and wait until someone else buys the pet, or I don't know what else they'll do. They'll just slowly let it die. So, just to let you guys know. So, health. New surroundings and environments can be stressful for pets. Prior to handling your pet, give your give them 3 to 4 days to adjust to their new surroundings while monitoring their behavior for any signs of excessive stress or illness. So it is good that they are telling this, because they're basically telling them, like, hey, give at least 3 or 4 days to let your pet get used to their new place, which is good. I like that they're saying that. I like that they're adding that to there. But are people gonna listen? Some people will not listen. They're like, it's my pet, I should go ahead and interact with them no matter what, even if they're stressed. But they don't realize that they're slowly scaring their animal. 2, stressing their animal. 3, there's a more likely chance of their pet getting illnesses if they constantly try to interact with it when it's not supposed to be interacted, because it needs a couple of days to go ahead and just get used to its surroundings. Things to watch for: cloudy, sunken, and swollen eyes, overgrown front teeth, bare patches in the fur, diarrhea or discolored droppings, lethargic behavior, weight loss, not eating or drinking normally, sneezing, discharge from the eyes, nose, or mouth. So these are some of the common illnesses that can happen with small animals, and with any animal in that case, because there's many things that can go on. Most animals can get these type of illnesses and or have similar symptoms to an illness. Oh no. If you notice any of these signs described above, speak with a PetSmart store associate or small animal veterinarian about the health of your pet. Okay, so don't go to a pet store, because most likely they will not know what the heck is going on with your small pet, because most people on there are not doctors or veterinarians. They can't prescribe you anything. They can't tell you what to give to your pet to help with a certain disease, because it's like someone telling you, like, hey, so they see like a tumor growing onto your pet, and they're like, oh, that's that's most likely a benign tumor. You don't know until it's actually been surgically removed and then tested and then sent to the lab for them to go ahead and make sure if it is benign or cancerous. You can't just look at it and know what it is. That's the same with small pets. Don't ask PetSmart for any of these illnesses. Just go to the vet. Just please go to the vet. There is no point for you to go ahead and take it to PetSmart, because it could be that that pet only has a couple of hours left to live before you can do anything. The best thing you can do is just go to the vet. Go straight to the vet. Because pet stores, they're just going to be giving you stuff to go ahead and let you waste your money. They're not going to actually tell you what you need to go ahead and give to your pet, because they don't have anything that can help with any of that. Even with the Oasis wet tail supplement thing, I suggest don't using that. Literally, it could be that your pet could be actually having wet tail, which those will not help, because you need like an actual thing, like an actual medicine that could actually help that pet, instead of it just being like, I'm paying like $12 for something that doesn't even help my pet at all. So just go to a vet. Please go to a vet, and they will tell you what is actually wrong with your pet. Do not go to PetSmart. PetSmart is not the best person or the best place to take your animal, because they don't know what's going on with your pet. Most of them are not educated with these type of illnesses, unlike veterinarians and like vet technicians, vet assistants. So the one that will most likely know what is going on with your pet is the veterinarian. So if you know that there's something wrong going, if you know that there's something wrong going on with your pet, please take it to a vet. So, going on with this, besides me going through that small little rant. So, now with the middle part. This does not make any sense, but okay. Apparently there's step 1 over here and then step 1 over here with a continuation. So, choosing a location for your habitat. Your small pet habitat should be placed somewhere cool and low humidity and out of direct sunlight. It is good that they're actually providing that, because that's what should be provided. Like, don't put your pet near a window and then have the window shield things up. I don't know what it's called, but I like it how they're like telling this. Now, keeping it in a cool area is kind of depending. If it's like very hot, then please put it down or below the area to where it's nice and cool enough. But if it's too cold where you live and you notice that the area of like your pet's cage is getting way too cold, putting it into like a higher area to let it at least gain some heat is the best area, because that also depends on the type of climate that you're in and or the time of year. Choosing a safe place without reach of other pets and away from electrical cords. So it is good that they're saying that, to not put other pets near your new pet's cage. But the electrical cords shouldn't be around your hamster's cage, so I don't know what got them to think that. I'm pretty sure it's common sense that you shouldn't be leaving cords. I don't even know how did they got cords into a cage? I am so confused. Keeping it away from areas of food preservation, hallways, dens, and living rooms are good choices. Wait, what? Keep it away from areas of food production? Precipitation? Hallways, dens, and living areas and living rooms are good choices. Okay. Now time for the exercise and choose. Okay. Place toys and treats in the habitat to keep your small pet entertained and healthy. Hide houses provide a refuge for small pets. Many are edible, along with chew toys help trim your pet's teeth, which never stop growing. Other treats that help control the length of your pet's teeth include wood or sisal. Okay, it is good that they're adding that, like, hey, the weird thing is that they don't tell you what type of wood. And most animals could chew on sisal, but they also forgot to go ahead and add that they could also chew on seagrass material and everything like that. And wood chews. Yes, they could chew on wood chews, but you have to also specify what type of wood, because it could be that a person will be like, oh, there's this wooden toy that's made for kids. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy that because it's cheaper and give it to my hamster. And you don't even know if that is even toxic. You don't know if the paint is toxic. You don't even know if what type of wood it is. You don't know if the wood is toxic. It could be that I'm just delving onto this too deeply, but I'm just saying what it says over here. So depending on the species, there are a variety of toys available. For the health and safety of your pet, please consult your small pet specific care guide to find out what toys are appropriate for your small pet. Okay. Bedding. Paper, crackles, graduals, aspen, and pine. No pine. Pine is bad. Adding bedding is a necessary for burrowing pets, but it's also your choice to add your own personal flair. Bedding is available in different colors, textures, and materials. Cedar shavings are not recommended for small pets because they can contain oils that can cause respiratory problems. They were right about cedar, but they forgot to go ahead and add pine, because pine also has oil chemicals built into it, and if it is not, it's just suggested not to be used. And even if it's kiln drying, I still do not trust it. I don't trust anything that's, if it's pine, and even if it's kiln drying, I don't see how it's safe or not. Now, I know that there are some toys that are made out of pine, and even some like cages that are made out of pine, but that's on the UK or on the other side of the world, where the glues that they use, or like the pine that they use, is safe for small animals, but not pine or cedar shavings. Pine and cedar shavings are not safe to any animal at all, and is not recommended. So, litter. Pellets, granules, and corn cob. Add litter as the first layer in the habitat. This serves as the foundation for bedding and nesting material. A litter pan can be placed in a corner of the habitat away from food, water. Use a different type of bedding or litter in the litter pan to help your small pet differentiate from the rest of the habitat. I don't think hamsters would know what is or what isn't where they're supposed to be going to the bathroom. I think they'll just go to the bathroom wherever they feel is comfortable for them. So, Habitat maintenance. Keep your small pet's habitat clean is essential for both his health. What if my small pet is not a guy? What if it is a female? Does it not count? I think that they should put there for both their health and happiness. When cleaning out the habitat, use a cleaning solution especially formulated for small pet habitats. Or you could just go ahead and use 1 cup of water and 1 cup of white vinegar. And then there you go. Mix it up and there you go. You have a pet solution that's safe for your pet. Safe for your cage to go ahead and use to let it dry, and then you can go ahead and use it. You go and clean up the cage. So you can also use wipies to clean and just destoreize your small pet's habitat. Okay, which helps keep it odor free. Daily, place pellet food in a bowl so your small pet avoids ingesting any of his bedding, removing any uneaten food. What do they mean that hamsters or small pets don't typically eat their bedding? They know that it is their bedding. And feeding your pet just pelleted food is like someone feeding a human cereal that says like human food, feed for the rest of their life. And of course you're gonna get bored, and most of the things that are inside pelleted food are not completely balanced, or they're not supposed. It has most of the things that they're not supposed to be eating, because some of them either have more fiber and less protein or things like in that matter, and it just gets very boring. And feeding it in a bowl, there's nothing wrong with feeding your pet's food inside a bowl, but it is always suggested to feed it to them, like just sprinkle it around their cage. They'll search for it. They will not eat their bedding. The only reason why they would put their bedding inside their mouth or to go ahead and put it into their like cheek pouches is just so that they could go ahead and make a much more comfortable place for themselves. Clean out the water bottle and replace with fresh water. Okay, that's common sense. Clean out litter pan. You don't need a litter pan unless that you're having a guinea pig or a rabbit, and that's a completely different story. But for hamsters, they don't need a litter pan. Spot cleaning the bedding. The good thing is that they're saying to go ahead and spot clean the bedding. Commonly change the bedding out weekly. No. So, what I would highly suggest is spot clean weekly, and then deep clean monthly, or whenever you see that like the cage needs a bit of cleaning. But for the most part, still incorrect information. Additional tools such as brush made from specifically for cleaning small pet habitats, as well as scrubbers for cleaning bottles, can help maintain your pet's habitat easy. I do clean out the water bottles that I give to my hamster. However, the brushes that they provide don't fit with the water bottle at all. I try using it and it wouldn't even fit. So yeah, no, they have to fix with that problem. Plus, there's much more easier ways to go ahead and clean out the bottle. As long as you clean out the water bottle at least 2 or 3 times a week, or at least once a week, it should be okay. And or clean it with like, you could clean up like the little nozzle with like Q-tips. You could also clean it with that. You could also use other stuff to go and clean it. You could even use hot water. Hot water will also clean out, will also kill out bacteria. So there's a lot more easier ways, but you could also use a brush. Habitat essentials. Water needs to be available for your pet at all times. Make sure that you use a water bottle made specifically for small pets. You don't need to use a water bottle. You could choose to use a water bottle or not, but you could also use a bowl. So it's just either or. Water bowls should not be used as they can be a safety hazard for your pet. Unless your water bowl is big and very deep, then yes, that would cause a hazard. However, if you put a rock or multiple smaller rocks into the water bottle, or not into the water bottle, the water bowl, they are less likely to fall into the water bottle. Plus, there are some companies such as Night Angel that does make bowls to where it will prevent your hamster from trying to dive itself into water. Small pets need substrate areas in their habitat to sleep, play, and eat. First, they were complaining about like how you should go and put the food into a bowl to make sure that your small pet does not eat their substrate. But now they're saying that they need to go ahead and add substrate for your animal to eat. Okay, well that does not make any sense. Hay managers keep hay out of bedding. Okay. Veggie bowls, baskets can hold veggies, treats, and other boxed foods. Encourage foraging by hiding treats and food in your pet's habitat. First, they were telling me to go ahead and put the food into the bowl, and now they're telling me to go ahead and put the food into my pet's habitat. Make a choice! Anyway, mineral wheels should be provided in the habitat. No. Animals do not need mineral wheels or mineral chews or whatever else they're called. No, most animals don't need mineral chews or wheels or whatever else. They do not need that. Their food should be providing the amount that they need. Unless their food is not providing it, then get a food that does provide that, or try to provide that yourself if you calculate things correctly for your pet's food. Anything else inside the back? I've already read this. Okay. So, they literally have a checklist right here. And so, that's the end of this one. Let's go with this one now. So, well, I do not like what I'm seeing right now. Experience level, beginner. There's no such thing as an animal that is a beginner level. Dwarf hamsters grow up to 3 to 4. I guess they're trying to write inches, but it just says 3 to 4. And then 8 to 10 centimeters, and then Syrians grow to 5 to 7 inches. I believe that's what they're trying to say. and then 13 to 18 centimeters. On average, they live for 2 years. Yes, I could agree with that. Hamsters are nocturnal and love running on their hamster wheels at night. Hamsters do like running on their wheels. However, they don't just need to run on their wheels, they also need to run around their habitat. So that's why providing a bigger habitat is good for them for that type of reason. So they have more space to run and hide and burrow and just enjoy their life. While Syrian hamsters are suitable with humans, they are solitary animals and should live alone. Most dwarf hamsters, however, are social animals. They are, but they also don't need to be housed together and can be housed with another of their same sex. Okay, hamster habitat. No. Just no, nothing like this. This is just a jail cell for your animal. You're just providing a jail cell to your animal. How to set up a hamster's cage. Place the habitat in a low humidity area. That cools temperature should be between 65 to 75 Fahrenheit, 18 to 24 Celsius, and out of direct sunlight. Now, I full on agree with that. At least they're providing good information for the temperature of the hamster's cage. So, line the habitat with a appropriate amount of clean bedding. How much though? How much should I be providing? How much should I add? How many should I put? What if that I think that like the appropriate amount is just 1 inch? 1 inch of bedding for my hamster. Thank you. You have to put a amount, which is always recommended. 3 to 4 inches of bedding. More is suggested.